Welcome to Center Hice and Steel Curtain Productions. This is episode 13 for the Steel Curtain section of our channel. Please hit the like and subscribe down below in your right hand corner. Muchly appreciated. Okay, so this is a review of the Titans coming into Pittsburgh Thursday night. And I watched this game right through. Definitely a tight game. Very, very tight. I'm going to give you the stats first. First final score was 20-16, a comeback for the Steelers. And here we go. Let me get down to your stats. 340 yards total for the Titans, 326 for the Steelers, 235 to 160 passing yards in favor of the Titans, 105 to 166 rushing yards for the Steelers. Total yards 68 to 60, or total plays, sorry, and average yards per play 5 yards for the Titans, 5.4 for the Steelers, pretty good. First downs 23 to 22 for the Titans. Third down efficiency 23% for the Titans, 50% for the Steelers, much better in that department. 7 penalties for the Titans, 10 for the Steelers. These penalties, this is where we're going to have to get a bit better control over our team. Penalty yards, 51 for the Titans, 80 for the Steelers. Turnovers, 1 turnover by the Titans, and that came at the end of the game. Sacks, 4 sacks for the Steelers, and of course, yes, it was pretty. Watt definitely got his numbers going back again, but he wasn't the total story of that. It's a good game. Sacks, yards lost, 27 by the Titans, 0 for the Steelers. Time of possession, 31.09, 28, and of course they don't have this small enough point something or other for the Steelers, so the Titans had the ball more often and controlled the field more. However, we came up with a victory. Pretty close, though. Okay, first quarter starts off. Najee Harris, 10-yard run, touchdown. Chris Boswell, extra point. So you got a 7-0 lead there. Nick Bolt, 36-yard field goal, 7-3 for the Steelers. Next, second quarter started, and 6:35 into it. Derrick Henry, of course, 2-yard TD run, and he was getting some numbers up there while this game was heating up. Hard man to stop, and what a stretch he made for that touchdown. I mean, watch that replay. He definitely stretched out so that his knees weren't down, so it would count. It was definitely a touchdown. So the Titans definitely went ahead then. Okay, so we're still there. I don't know why this got 130, 116. Anyway, Boswell gets a field goal after that to tie it at 10. Bolt gets another one, puts up the Titans up 13-10, and then we go into the third quarter. So at this point, you've got a 13-10 lead going in after the first half. Then we got Chris Boswell at 5:41 getting a field goal, and he ties up the game. But of course, after that, Nick Foles gets a 48-yard field goal, makes it 16-13. Then we're headed into the fourth quarter. So you got a 16-13 lead for the Titans. And then we get a touchdown, finally, from Dante Johnson, 3-yard pass, as the Steelers chalked up the field on that one. They got a lot of yardage in that one. They went right up from their own end. I mean, almost backs against the wall, and brought that right down for a touchdown. Well, this was a nice series of plays. Dante Johnson gets a 3-yard touchdown pass from Kenny Pickett. Chris Boswell gets the extra point, and that puts the Steelers up 20-16. And I'll tell you what, the Titans came very close. They were nothing to play with When you thought this game should have been over, it just kept going right down to the end until we finally intercepted the ball. And I will say, okay, so that is your summation of the stats. I watched this game thoroughly. I was not impressed. This was the first game our quarterback, to me, looked like the worst player on the field. I was not impressed with Kenny Pickett. Now, did that have something to do with his ribs? Will we know? I don't know. I mean, unless they come up with the truth on this, it's hard to say. But I will say that that young quarterback for the Titans, Levi, that was to me the star of the game. That guy was exceptional. So if you're a Titans fan, you got a lot to be excited about. That quarterback was darn good. He had no fear in him. He drove that ball down the field quite easily. Great at making decisions. He was altogether. This kid's going to be one of the top quarterbacks in the league. He's got so much poise, confidence. Really smart, and what a bomb he has! A bullet of a throw arm. He has just pure strength, just a natural. And I can't say enough about him. I wish that I hate to say it, that's second round. That's a second round pick, and that's hard to imagine. That just goes to show you can get a superstar blossom later in the draft. And I'll tell you, this kid's going to be one of the Titans are in good hands. So this was a battle of two teams, kind of in that ground of figuring out if they're going to, they both have issues. There's definitely issues on both ends of the field with both units. No end ifs and buts. Um, we started the game off well with our first set of plays with getting Harris, and that was a good statement play. And they had Matt Canada down at the sideline. I don't know. Just from what Tomlin said, just to make it him easier to access for the players if they had questions or anything. And it looked like it was positive with the first set of plays. But as the game went on, it was quite clear there was a lot of missed opportunities. However, I'd normally bomb all over Matt Canada. Really, I got to say for our offense. To me, Kenny Pickett missed so many assignments. His throws were inaccurate. Um, didn't look like him at all, really. I was not impressed. He missed so many opportunities between Johnson and Pickens and Ashton the third there. I, really, there were so many. If you watch the replays on this, and he had made bad decisions and really missed on his targeting. I don't know what. I'm assuming it's the ribs, but if we're comparing quarterbacks, Levi left Kenny Pickett in the dust in this game. This was not won by Kenny Pickett by any stretch of the imagination. Yes, did he finally come through? Yes. Still didn't look good, and I honestly think too with our wide receivers, just there was an earlier play at the end of this game that we could have scored. I believe it was either at the end of the third, beginning of the fourth, where Pickens was in the end zone. I think it was, yeah, actually, I think it was just right before Dante's, not long before Dante's touchdown. Um, Basically, they got to teach these guys because I mean, you know, being aware of where your feet are when you make a catch, it's so important. And I think really someone has to work with receivers a bit, especially the younger receivers like Pickens. That was an easy touchdown for him if he would have had his feet in the right places or was more aware and just got on his tippy toes. He could have easily made that count. And that just, to me, was total lack of realizing where he was on the field in the end zone. And you got to be aware. That's how we won a Super Bowl. I mean, you look back at the Cardinals game, that bomb that Ben threw, and that beautiful, amazing catch, and Santonio Holmes, I believe. And someone like that, it would be nice if they were working with the receivers, him or Hines Ward. I don't know, man, but I'll tell you right now, this seeing the amount of playbooks, what I did like to see is we outran the Titans in this game, which was amazing because Henry's just a beast. Man, that guy's hard to stop. However, you can definitely tell he's bit by bit getting, there's more opportunity to stop him than there used to be like 2 to 3 years ago. So that's good. He's winding down a little bit, but he's still deadly. He's a freight train. And I was very proud of Harris and Warren. For a little guy, his center of gravity, the power when you seen him plow in to the defensive lines. What incredible strength in driving them back when they were tackling him. He just drove them back, and that's just a great sign of immense strength in his center of gravity. This is a great kid to watch. I really find that Harris and Warren are a great 1-2 punch. This is great, and it was nice to see uh, the kid that they drafted put on that line on the right side. I know he was left tackle, but he was put on the right tackle, and he did a wonderful job for opening some holes, helping to open up holes for the running backs. Uh, I think, you know what, for the way that line has worked, keep him there or keep him on that line somewhere because he made a difference. No doubt he's going to be good down the road as he gains experience. Um, like once again, what can you say about TJ Watt? Just comes through every time. He's inching closer to that top spot. But Levi, I really was impressed. So impressed. We did a good job. I mean, Hopkins was always a threat. No surprise in that either. And I think we did a really good job of, you know, keeping them to minimal. We pulled the old brand Steelers way of doing things. Not a pretty win, not whatsoever. However, a good win, a good solid win as far as they came through when they had to. Hayward Bay was just beautiful to watch. He made a difference with his size. He always does. And what more can you say? It's just a good, solid game. You know, Highsmith was the other guy who got in on a couple sacks, and he had a beautiful game. Highsmith was outstanding. And between him and Watt, that was a great duo going in. And Helvig, or whatever you want to call him, he was would have been the third guy. And those three did a good job. But Highsmith had an exceptional game. He really stood out. And Watt, like I said, you knew they ripped his helmet off, and he still sacked Levi. Just what a immense determination from TJ Watt. You can't say more. He's going to blow his brother's numbers, and I hope he catches what's his name, Reggie White's. I hope he catches those numbers as well because he deserves it. He's a beast and he's an exceptional, and he really is right now the face of the Steelers franchise. Him, then I would say Micah, and hopefully, our offense really, to me, doesn't have an identity yet. It's getting one. Harris is probably the closest. Harris and Warren are probably the closest thing you have. And they knew that Pickens was our best threat, and they covered him well. But he's got to get more awareness of his speed. I love this kid, but and Austin is just beautiful. The speed this kid bursts out, and it's just beautiful. And Warren, same thing. That kid just once he gets 2 or 3 steps, he's gone. He is just like a freight train going down that field. These two are fun to watch, and they made a difference for the Steelers, thankfully. Because I'll tell you, man, that Levi, I'll tell you, if I was a GM of a team, I'd be looking if you could steal him from the Titans, which I don't think you're going to be able to because I think they found the future quarterback. I think they just realized it. He played an exceptional game. This guy's going to be an exceptional breed. He's going to fall into your Burrow, um, Allen types. He's a little more stationary than those guys, but boy, can he take a hit. And accuracy is just pinpoint. Even off his feet, this guy, I just love his natural ability. I mean, here I am just pumped about their quarterback. And this is what I'd like to see with us. And it's not a knock against Pickett. I had times I've praised Pickett a lot more. And he was the worst player on the Steelers by far in my books. And it could have been due to the grips. let's hope he heals. But as far as Matt Canada's playbook, still does not impress me. I know we want him gone, and he should be gone. However, we as Steeler fans have to understand it's not the time to do it. They might as well wait. His contract's up at the end of the year. Get him the hell out of Dodge because he sucks as a play caller. Sorry to say it. I mean, it's nice to see that our numbers have drastically changed in the running game, but that's due to the pieces we're putting in place. We're starting to get the odd, half decent player on that line, and the 1-2 punch with switching it up with Harris, not too much workload, ends up on one guy. So you got Harris and Warren switching it up, and that's a beautiful 1-2 punch. Our defense, again, we got some holes in there, and I'll tell you, as much as I love Porter Jr., he's got to get some discipline in his game because he almost cost us the game. The amount of penalties he took yesterday. I know he had a big assignment, uh, you know, covering their biggest threat, and that's fine and dandy. But Hopkins, I believe, and all I can say is you got to do a better job than that. Um, like I say, he just went over the line too many times, and a lot of injuries on their line. Thank goodness, because I don't like to see anybody hurt. However, I believe that fellow at the end of the game who got stretchered out was all right, and I'm glad to hear that. But a lot of injuries, and we took a big blow on our defense as well, because when Holcomb went down, we didn't look so solid. We looked like we had trouble. Now, mind you, nice to get that interception with the replacement. Uh, Good job. However, I think if with experience, that quarterback might have done something else with that ball because it was kind of easy to read. He kind of went in the exact same area his prior throw, and they almost picked him the time before it, and which I was a little upset with because that safety should have had that ball and ended the game then. He didn't, but thank God on the next throw we did intercept it. But it was a good team win. Not, I wasn't pretty impressed with it. I do not see the Steelers as a superior team. I think this was a gritty war on the field, um, and just a slugfest. And it was just a matter who was going to make the least mistakes and whose defense was going to come up bigger. Really, is what it seemed to come down to. Um, it was good. I'm glad. Like I say, I did like our numbers in the running game. We outran them in the running game, which is shocking when you got a guy like Henry. But they seem to just utilize him more when they're in scoring position. Uh, so thankfully, like I say, the game went our way. We had a couple of players on defense play half decent. And Peterson made a big play at a certain point in the game as well, and which was nice. And that's the veteran, the experience coming out, and we needed that because without Fitzpatrick, we're very weak. We're a lot weaker in that back end, and for me, the middle linebackers concern me. So I just find without Mika, the play calling, or Holcomb, those two gone. The play calling, you could tell they were confused, and I'm surprised the Titans didn't cash in on it because they weren't sure where to be on the field. So we got fortunate. We survived it. We got scathed. I do not think this is. I know, we're sitting at, I believe, 5-3 at week 9, and I do not see us as a playoff team. I'm like I say, that's just my opinion. I think we're going to slide. I just don't see enough out of us. Our offense is just really lagging behind. So something's got to give there, and I don't think the answer is going to come through Matt Canada. And again, we also do got to see what else is going on with our receivers and Pickett. There are issues youthfully that they have to resolve. But some positives. We're headed in the right direction. We're just not a playoff team. There's too many better teams in the AFC than us. But good, strong win. Um, we'll see what happens next game. I think, if I heard right, we have the Ravens next, I believe, from what I understand. No, we have the Packers. Sorry, we have the Packers next, and who knows how that'll go. I can't project, like I say, when it comes to our Steelers, I can't project how we are. Anyway, I want to thank you for watching. Please hit the likes and subscribes down below. And yes, I wore my Steelers hat because we got a victory. And I should bring it out every now and then. Of course, I'm wearing a Lopi. That just means I'm older. Yeah, I'm from the Steel Curtain era where we had an immaculate team. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Hit the like, subscribe. I'd like to grow the channel, and I appreciate your support. We will. This is our review. We will do a review after the following game, after the Packers game. Thank you for joining me. Please leave your comments. Tell me what you thought. I just thought that, man, for me, I was overly impressed with their quarterback. This Levi kid, I want him on our team. To be honest with you, I love this kid. I just think he's going to be a star in the league. So yeah, I mean, I'm a football fan as well. So when you see somebody with that type of talent, you get you admire it, and I admired him. So Titans fans, for you guys, you got a lot to be excited about. This is going to be one awesome quarterback. You need a few more weapons around him. I will say that, but you're growing. So thank you for joining me. We will catch you in the next episode. Go Steelers Nation, go! And this is the Center Hice Steel Curtain episode, Steel Curtain side of it, football. And we thank you for joining us, and we will catch you after the next one. Go Steelers, go! God bless you.